This perp back with another video, and I just got done watching The Stranger on Netflix. Man, this was very enjoyable. 8 episodes. This is based off a book. And please forgive me because I don't really know none of these actors' names, like off the top of my head. I just know the characters they play. Before I get into this review, hit that like button. Also subscribe if you want. Not forcing you to do so. Follow me on Twitter at purpleminded420. Yeah, and with all that being said, let's get right into it because there's a lot to talk about in this review. I'm going to try to not spoil anything, to be honest, just because this just came out like Thursday, so I want to give some people a chance to check it out for themselves. There's a lot of key moments, I should say, in this series that are just fucking really well done. You know, from start to finish. The first episode really does a really good of hooking you in. We are introduced to this one character that you see, Adam, and he has this, this family. Everything is going so well for him. He has his 2 sons, a loving wife, but then by just this stranger character played by john-kamen. I probably butchered her last name, but the chick that was in Ant-Man and the Wasp, she played Ghost. Very dope character. She's going around blackmailing certain individuals. You don't really know why. There's a lot going on in this series overall that, it's one of those shows that gives you a bunch of breadcrumbs that are leading up to the loaf of bread, and I loved every single moment of it. We have so many interesting characters, from Adam himself to the stranger. I'm not going to reveal her name because they do say her name, but she's a whole wild card and a curveball within herself. They give you kind of slight hints at who she could be connected to, but I'm not going to spoil that. You should definitely go check it out yourself. Then you have the detective that, she has her own thing going on, Joanna. She is she's a dope character also. All these characters have some type of dark secret or certain things that get revealed and ends up just blowing up everybody's life. Even Adam's kid, his oldest son, gets into some trouble. Him and his friends get in some trouble at a party, which is kind of, out of everything that I've seen from this season, is the weakest, but it's still interesting. It keeps you guessing and wondering what this is connected to. There's a lot of moving parts. So this stranger approaches Adam in the first episode and tells him pretty much, you didn't have to stay with your wife. Pretty much telling Adam that your wife faked her pregnancy, and this kind of just blows up his whole world, and everything just gets crazier from there. There's this whole mystery with his wife, what she's done, and everything that's going on with this little town and just the people that live in it. And there's so many different secrets and people hiding certain things from one another, and it really makes for a really compelling story because, like I said, there's a lot of moving parts in this series, and things really start to come together by the end. You have this one character, Patrick. He's another detective. He gets himself into a sticky situation that's connected to Joanna's character, and man, this series is really not what you think it is when you first watch it. You think, all right, you could kind of put 2 and 2 together, but it does a really good job of giving you this idea that you think that this character has something to do with this, but then it kind of flips it on its head. And even the stranger herself, kind of gets to gets in too deep with what she's doing. You know, she wants to reveal the truth of certain dark pasts and stuff, but it has its repercussions. You know, pretty much everything that certain characters do has a price to it. You know, everything ends up catching up to them. This is a mini series, so I don't know if there's going to be a second season. I don't see there being one, because the way it ended, I feel like all the characters pretty much got closure for the most part. If they were to give us one more season, that'd be interesting. I don't know exactly where they would go with it. I have some ideas, but you know, overall, from start to finish, this has really good characters. You know, I am happy with the body count in this series. It keeps you entertained from the first episode all the way to the end. It's 8 episodes, probably 45 to 50 minutes each, so it's not too long, not too short. Things don't really seem dragged out. Like I said, the only thing, looking back at it, that was kind of like meh was the whole kid storyline. You know, there was like an alpaca's head missing and whatnot, and that was more interesting at the start of it, but then when it got to the end of it, it didn't really do nothing for me. It wasn't terrible, it just didn't really do nothing to me, but it does have a purpose in the grand scheme of things. But if you checked out this series, let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will check y'all out in the next video. Peace.